Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Sunday, July 20th, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily rundown best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab or the Experts tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, this is my last day of traveling, so I'll be back to the regular studio on Monday. Here are the games for Sunday in Major League Baseball. First up, we have the San Francisco Giants taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. We got Robbie Ray and Jose Barrios as the starters. Right before the All-Star break, I mentioned that Jose Barrios has got good numbers on paper, but the underlying numbers, expected numbers, aren't really the best, and I do worry about regression in the second half of the season. We saw that in his last game against the A's. 3 innings of 4-run ball, 2 home runs given up, ended up being a 6-3 Athletics win. I think Barrios could be in trouble in this start, especially up against Robbie Ray, who's been one of the most profitable pitchers in Major League Baseball, and the fact that the Blue Jays have not been great against lefties in the last month. I'm going to roll with San Francisco in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Orioles and the Rays. We've got Trevor Rogers and Ryan Pepiot as the starters. Now, Ryan Pepiot faced the Orioles on June 16th and June 27th. The start on June 16th, amazing. 8 innings, 1 run, 11 strikeouts, 7-1 blowout Rays win. The next start at Camden Yards, miserable. Inning and 2/3, 4 earned runs, couple of walks, and that was a game where the Rays were up 6-0 in the second inning. They ended up losing that game 22-8, the final score. So, Pepiot's been a bit inconsistent this year. We know he's got great stuff, great strikeout stuff, but the control and the location has been the issue. Look at his last game against the Red Sox. 4 total runs given up, just 3 strikeouts in 6 innings. It was a quality start on paper with just 3 earned runs. But it was a home run given up. The missed bats weren't there. Ended up being a 4-1 Red Sox win. The Rays have lost 3 of the last 4 Pepiot starts, so that's a concern for me. Up against a capable Orioles lineup, and Trevor Rogers has pitched really well with his new team so far. 1.53 ERA. He faced these Rays back on June 18th and struggled, but this is a Rays team. It's not been great against left-handed pitching in the last 30 days. So I think Rogers bounces back, gets some revenge against Tampa Bay. I think the Orioles win this game on the money line on the road. Next up, the Angels and the Phillies. We got Jose Soriano and Ranger Suarez as the starters. Now, I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I think the under is worth a look, especially in the first 5 innings. But I also think that the Angels can compete. I mean, I like Soriano in this matchup. He's been better on the road this season. You look at the home and road splits. 5.65 ERA with a 1-5 record at Angel Stadium. Goes up to 2.47 ERA on the road. A 5-2 record to go with it. 62 innings, a much lower opponent's batting average. So I think Soriano pitches well. I think Suarez has a good outing as well, but he's given up a lot more home runs than we're used to seeing recently. His ground ball percentage hasn't been the strongest in recent starts. I think the Angels, who have got a really good, powerful lineup against lefties, could be able to get to Suarez for a few runs early. I'm going to roll with the under and the Angels in this one. Next up, it's the White Sox and the Pirates. We've got Aaron Savale and Andrew Heaney as the starters. Now, this is a game where I just don't really love either of these starting pitching options in this particular matchup, and I'd rather just take the plus money with the Chicago White Sox, who have already shown to be competitive in this series. Savale, the White Sox have not won one of his starts yet. He's been not a profitable pitcher with Chicago, but Andrew Heaney's coming off an outing against the Twins. 2 innings, 3 home runs, 3 earned runs right off the bat, and it was a 12-4 Pirates loss. They've lost 4 of his last 5 games, and those losses were all blowouts. 12-4, 9-3, 9-3 again, and 8-2 the final score. I just can't get there with Heaney at this kind of price. The White Sox have proven to be more competitive against lefties this year. They already got to a lefty in this series in Bailey Falter. I'm going to roll with the White Sox in this one at a great plus money price. Next up, it's the Yankees and the Braves. We got Marcus Stroman and Grant Holmes as the starters. I do think this is a lopsided pitching matchup in favor of Atlanta. I think the Braves take this game. They've been competitive in this series. Grant Holmes, not his best start in his last game before the All-Star break, but otherwise, he's been really sharp for Atlanta. Really underrated starting pitcher. Doesn't get talked a lot about because the Braves have had a disappointing season, but he's been able to go 105 innings of 119 strikeout baseball, competitive baseball, a lot of quality starts. I think he keeps the Braves in this game. I think they get to Stroman, who's been very inconsistent this year. I'm going to roll with the Braves in this one on the money line. Next up, we go to our nation's capital as the Padres take on the Nationals. We got Nick Pivetta and Mackenzie Gore as the starters. I think it's a great pitching matchup. Nick Pivetta had an amazing start to the season, had a few outings in a row where he wasn't the sharpest, but has been right back to form in his last few games before the All-Star break. He went 6 2/3 of shutout, 8 strikeout baseball against the Phillies, 5 2/3 of shutout, a 7 strikeout baseball against the Diamondbacks. By the way, he gave up 1 unearned run against the Phillies, so not technically a shutout, but just great stuff from Pivetta before the All-Star break, and includes one of the starts against these Nationals. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, no earned runs, no walks, just 3 base hits, and a 1-0 Padres win. So I think Pivetta pitches well, but we've mentioned this Padres team has not been great against left-handed pitching. Mackenzie Gore, one of the best lefties in the National League. He also pitched really well in that same game against Pivetta back on June 25th. 6 innings, 1 run, 6 strikeouts in that 1-0 final. So I'm going to go with the under, and I lean towards the Nationals, honestly. I think that this is going to be a competitive game, and one where I would take the home team at a pretty good price. Next up, we got the Cincinnati Reds taking on the New York Mets. We got Andrew Abbott and David Peterson as the starters, a pair of lefties in this one. Peterson was in great form before the All-Star break. He had 6 2/3 of 1 run against the Brewers, 7 innings of 1 run against the Orioles, so got into a much better form after a couple of not-so-great outings. But I still think Andrew Abbott is the better starter in this game. I also know that the Reds have had much better numbers offensively against lefties in the last month than the Mets do. And Abbott's been a winning machine this year. I mean, he's 8-1 this season. The Reds have won a large majority of his games. He's a profitable pitcher. I'm going to roll with Cincinnati in this one on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the Kansas City Royals taking on the Miami Marlins. We got Chris Bubich and Jansen Junk as the starters. Chris Bubich struggled in the All-Star game, but he's still one of the best lefties in the American League this year, and he's facing a Marlins team that's not been good against left-handed pitching offensively. I also think Jansen Junk was a great find for the Marlins. 50 1/3 innings of 2.68 ERA baseball. I'm not so sure he can hold on to these types of numbers for the rest of the season. Not a lot of strikeouts on the year, but only 1 home run given up in 50 innings with just 4 walks given up as well. His control's been excellent. I think he pitches well enough to keep this game under the total. Next up, we've got the Athletics and the Guardians. We've got Jeffrey Springs and Gavin Williams as the projected starters. Now, I've mentioned I think that the Guardians have the weakest lineup in baseball against left-handed pitching in 2025. Their numbers did improve a little bit before the All-Star break, but still in the last 30 days, they're ranked 25th in team OPS against lefties. So I think this is a good spot for Jeffrey Springs, who already pitched really well against this Guardians lineup not too long ago. It was back on June 20th, 7 1/3 of 1-run ball, one of his best starts of the season. The A's have won 4 of his last 5 games. Williams has not really been in the best form, and the Guardians have lost a lot of his games recently. I'm rolling with the A's in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Red Sox and the Cubs. We got Garrett Crochet for Boston, but no official starter right now for Chicago. Now, when the Yankees were on their pretty bad losing streak, I was on the Yankees quite a bit on the rundown. So a lot of comments, oh, you're a Yankees fan, you love backing the Yankees. Here I am taking the Red Sox in 3 straight games over one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. Does that make me a Red Sox fan? I'm not so sure, but I like the Red Sox in this matchup. Garrett Crochet has been one of the best pitchers in baseball, facing a Cubs team that's not been great against lefties in the last month. They're outside the top 15 in team OPS. I think Crochet puts together a good outing. We'll see who Chicago goes with on the mound, but I don't really love this Cubs bullpen. Give me the Red Sox in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Twins and the Rockies. We've got Joe Ryan and German Marquez as the starters. Now, the last start for Joe Ryan at Coors Field was back on September 29th of 2023. He went 5 innings of 8 base hits, 6 run, 3 home run baseball. He had 6 strikeouts. Ended up being a Twins win 7-6, but a miserable start for Joe Ryan in that game. I think he'll be a lot better this time around, but still, Coors Field is not for everybody. We've seen really good pitchers go there and struggle, and I think that Ryan gives up a couple of home runs in this ball game. But I also think Marquez, even though he pitched really well in his final game before the All-Star break, is still not a great option for the Rockies, especially at Coors Field. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game, one where the Twins do win it in the end, but I also lean towards the over. Next up, we've got the Brewers and the Dodgers. We've got Jose Quintana and Clayton Kershaw as the starters. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. Got an afternoon game at Dodger Stadium. 2 starting pitchers that just faced the opposition recently. They both pitched pretty well. I mean, it was a quality start for Quintana, quality start for Kershaw. But these are 2 lineups that have hit lefties well, especially the Brewers. In the last 30 days, Milwaukee is number 1 in team OPS against southpaws with a 13.9% strikeout rate. I think Kershaw struggles, but I also think the Dodgers can certainly find a few more runs against Quintana than they did in the first time around. Give me the over in Brewers-Dodgers. Next up, we've got the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. We've got Miles Mikolas and Merrill Kelly as the starters. Now, Miles Mikolas, a 5.58 road ERA this season in 50 innings with a 3.01 opponent's batting average. You're up against one of the toughest lineups in baseball against right-handed pitching in one of the toughest stadiums in baseball at Chase Field. Very hitter-friendly, so I think Mikolas is in trouble. Kelly gave up 3 runs or fewer in 5 straight games for the All-Star break. I think the Cardinals have the better bullpen, but not by enough margin. I'm going to roll with the Diamondbacks in this game on the money line. And the final game we're going to talk about for the Sunday card in Major League Baseball, it's the Rangers and the Tigers. Tarik Skubal and Nathan Eovaldi are your starters. This is a great matchup on ESPN at 7:10 Eastern. Now, these are probably your 1 and 2 favorites in the American League right now for the Cy Young Award. Skubal right now 153 strikeouts, so he's got Eovaldi by over 50 strikeouts and over 30 innings pitched more because of Eovaldi's injury. But 1.58 ERA is tough to go against for Nathan Eovaldi on the season with a .85 whip to go with it. For me, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, obviously. I think both pitchers have a good outing, but we did see Skubal struggle before the All-Star game, in the All-Star game, giving up 2 runs in an inning. I think this is going to be similar to the first game of this series where it doesn't take much, but the Rangers find a way to win it in a low-scoring affair and at a really good price. I'm going to roll with the Rangers in this one on the money line. I mentioned, Tigers, I do expect a bit of regression in the second half of the season. So this is a team I'm looking to fade often in the second half. Give me the Rangers on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Sunday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the experts tab at pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. And again, thank you for your patience for this not so great audio and video the past few days as I am traveling. But I'll be back home tomorrow in the normal studio, ready to go. So check it out on Sunday night. But as always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.